Alright, today we are discussing gratitude. Talking about gratitude. Gratitude to God, gratitude to man, gratitude to life. Because gratitude is an important thing and is a very good aspect of life. Gratitude is one of the ways we go upward. Because if you appreciate other things are given unto you, if you appreciate the little things that God has done for you, He adds more because He knows you are grateful. You are not an ungrateful human being. By doing that, you pave ways for yourself and even your generation. So that is how important gratitude is. Gratitude is one of the way upward, is the one of the way forward. If you want to go up, then you must appreciate everything that the Lord has done for you. Like I said before, whether man, woman, or even God Himself, whatever God has done for you, you have to learn to be appreciative. Be appreciative. There's this thing in appreciation that makes God to do more in your life. If you see a finger of God, appreciate God for that finger. And within a very short time, you will see a whole of His arm. That is how it is. So if it also applies to men, when a man do something for you, when you are favored, when God use a man to do something for you, appreciate that man. There's nothing in that. Just appreciate that man. By doing so, it can prompt the heart of that man to do even greater than what he did for you. Because why? Appreciation have this spirit in it that that melts the heart of men, that causes men to do more in the lives of an individual. But most of us we want to see the whole of it before we appreciate, and that is a very wrong thing to do. It's a very, very wrong thing to do. So, and how do you do this thing? In a way that you yourself will be happy with yourself. How do you do it? I'm going to share with you ways you can appreciate, and even you yourself will be happy with yourself that yes, you did it. All right, number one is you have to make up your mind to do it. Don't be forced. Don't be forced by someone. Just make up your mind that I want to do this thing because of what God used the person to life. You know that the number one person you should appreciate is God. After appreciating God for using that person to do what He did in your life, then you go to the person himself and also appreciate it. What God used that person to do in your life. Like I said, it is a way of lifting men. By doing so, you can be lifted, you can be, blessed. What that person did in your life can be expanded. Okay? So doing so is not, downgrading yourself. No, it is uplifting yourself. I shared a story here yesterday. Please, if you were here yesterday, can you comment? But if you were not here yesterday, I'm going to share a story, a very touching story I shared here yesterday. A very touching story. All right. Yesterday I talked about some people who were tired of how life was generally, how life was affecting them. It was, very, 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 very bad for them. Even eating a square meal per day was it was a luxury for them. They tried everything they could, whether bad or good. They tried. None of them worked. But they were eager. They wanted to become somebody. They wanted to become something in life. So they had, they locked their heart in fleshy things. They want to become people or someone they are not. That is where sometimes peer groups is one of the greatest thing that destroy lives. So are suffering for years, working here and there, trying to make things work in their lives, and nothing happened. They decided to do it the evil way. I shared this story yesterday. This is a touching story. It's a story that, that after listening to, you need to think twice before you make any decision in your life, no matter what you are passing through, no matter the condition. Because lives have been destroyed. Do you know that most of the people? All right, let me leave that. Let me go back to the story. So after the havoc, after all the hunger, the everything they passed through, they choose the bad way, the wrong way, the evil way. And that is the story I want to share with you now. I know and I believe, I pray also that by listening to this story, your life will be transformed, because the story will be touched by this story. Now, there were two friends. They were not living together. But they were friends, very close friends. They did everything together. They passed through hell and so on together. So when the thought came to go into this thing I'm talking about, both of them agreed to do it. It shows they decide to do it. So they got to know about one of those evil men, those native doctors. So when they got to know about the man, they decided to go and do what others did that made them great. So they went and met to the bush and met the man. These native doctors, they went and met the man. And when they got there, they told the man everything they had passed through, all the things that had happened to them, how they tried to make things work and nothing worked. They did everything they could, but nothing worked. After telling the man said, okay, that he was going to help them. So he told them that they should go. He said that they should go and get a skull. That is a human skull. And bring them. That is each of them. Each one, each skull. So they left because they were determined, they were ready to do anything to become what they are not. Not knowing that God had plans for them, but they ignored the plans of God. They ignored what God has for them. So they left. Both of them left. And they started looking for a way to get those things that were requested. They started asking questions. Going to friends, started investigating how they could get it, how they would get it. Finally, they got to know a friend of theirs, a very long friend of theirs. So the friend told them that there is a way they can get it. And he took them to a cemetery to get it. So when they got there at night, when they got there, each of them found a burial at the scene. Each of them got to one of them, let me just call one John and the other one James. John got to his, James got to the other, and they started digging at night, midnight. That is what at midnight. So when they start digging, James found a skull, a human skull on the ground. He picked it up. What I'm telling you is a true life story. It's a true life story. He picked one, and the other guy also did the same thing and picked his own. And then when they got what they went there for, they returned back home. Because they were tired. They had to rest, freshen up, and kept those things very safe. The next day at night, they returned back to the man who sent them. So they got to the man, and the man collected those things from them and did some incantations and all those things with those items. For hours they were there. The man went to another room and was doing those stuff. So after some time, the man came out with those items. And he gave them the items each. He gave them the items and told them to go home. And when they get to their houses, because I said before that they were not living together, they were not living together. Each of them have a place they were squatting. It was not a very fancy place, but at least they had a place to lay their heads. So each of them they left the man where the man was, got to their houses. I forgot the place. The man told them that when they get to their houses, they should make boxes, each box, and they should fix those items in the box and keep it. And he also told them some things they will be doing daily. Some things they will be doing daily. The thing I'm telling you is a very serious matter. So they got home, each of them with his item, and they make those boxes. And what the man instructed them to do, they were doing it daily for weeks. They were doing it. I'm going to continue this story tomorrow. Please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, because when I'm back, I'll complete the story. I know you will learn so much from the story. The story is a very touching one. Very touching one. It's a true life story. Alright, thank you so much for joining today's live. I have something I need to attend to. That's why. Right. Bye.